Hey, I'm really glad you're here. Today, I want to show you something that you may or may not believe, and that is that we create most of our decisions that we then follow for the rest of our lives before we're 7 years old. We base them on things that happen to us, and I know it because I had a really interesting experience with it when I was younger, and I really want to share that experience with you so that you can see that there are decisions you made. And now those decisions you still keep, even though you made those decisions while you were still a child, before you really knew anything. So, so when I was 5 years old, maybe six, it was 1959, I want to say. And no, that would be 1962, more like. So, anyway, my mom would be cleaning, and she'd have set some traps for mice in the house. And if she ran across one, number one, she would scream as she was jumping up on top of our dining room table, and then she would call me until I came running. And the first thing she would say to me is, "Get me my cigarettes," which I would do because back in the 50s everybody smoked. And then she would tell me to go get the mouse. Now, this was very funny to me when I was a little kid because my mom was always kind of, the dictator in the house. And she was always, trying to keep us under control, really. And anyway, it cracked me up that she was afraid of a mouse. So I went and I would go and get the mouse. And before I would walk out with the mouse, I would show her because I knew it would make her scream again. And then I would take the mouse and put it in the trash. So I was very young at this point, and I apparently made decisions based on that scene, which happened a few times. I don't think it happened a whole lot, but and I also thought it was interesting that I had an older brother, but she always called me. Anyway, so fast forward, and I am in my early 20s. I'm maybe 8 months pregnant with my son, and I live in this little farmhouse, and I'm all by myself, and um, I'm looking at the top of a cupboard, and at the top of a cupboard, I kept crackers, and the crackers were being munched on by a little mouse. Now, before I could think, I was standing on top of my dining room table with a broom in my hand, screaming. And I may have even grabbed a pack of cigarettes because they didn't really outlaw them back then. And I wasn't like trying to smoke or anything, but the point is that I was standing on top of a table with a broom in my hand screaming because I saw that as a little kid. And in my head, the little kid said, "Oh, this is what moms do." And I was about to be a mom. It's the craziest story. The first thing I thought when I caught myself on top of the table screaming was, "Oh my God, I'm insane." Like, I didn't know that patterns were created from when you were little. And I had never been to therapy. I had never known anything about psychology or anything like that or how the mind works. Since then, I've learned a lot about this. But, and it did instigate me going to therapy. But the interesting part is that we create so many solid things before we even know we're doing it. And I wanted you to know that some of the things that you choose have nothing to do with logic. It has nothing to do with what is best for you. It has to do with what you decided before you were 7 years old. And so, with that in mind, there are ways now that we can uncover them and clear them so they can stop affecting our decisions in our everyday life. And that's the most important thing that I wanted you to know today. So if this helped you in any way, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you're interested in working with me, there's a link down below. And I'd really love to hear what you have to say about this, because it really woke me up at a time when I needed to wake up, and put me on a path that I've learned so much about, over my lifetime. And yeah, I'd love to know what you think about it. Okay. So all of that being said, have a great day, and I'll talk to you later.